I wanted to make an educational video for you, for those of you who haven't seen these kinds of scenarios before and why they happen. And they really don't happen that much, these kind of microcap stocks that go up, because they're always microcap stocks that go up several, 1,000% plus in a few days or a few weeks. So I wanted to go through some of the ones I've seen during my trading career and also traded, not all of them. One was last year, or I think it was 2 years ago. Okay, late 2017. Cryptomania stock, super low float, tiny stock, went up 2,600% in 2 sessions. First day, it went up 380%, and the next day it went up another 430%. I didn't trade this one at all. I missed it altogether. But it was similar with BPTH. Let's look at BPTH. It was up a lot the previous day. BPTH was up 250%. Gapped up. It hung around for a couple of hours, and then it started to introduce squeeze, and the same thing that happened to LFIM. Hung around for a couple of hours, tried to break down, it held, and started putting higher lows, started to squeeze, and then it went straight up. No, you can't see, but you see it on this chart, but it was halted several times during this rise. Then it had an exhaustion candle, reversal candle. First red candle got halted and had a big gap down, and then it shopped around. Next one, AQXB. This one I did trade, and I lost a quarter of my capital on this thing on the first day. I shorted it on the first day. I think it was just some kind of Shell. I think they were pretty much going bankrupt. I was trading at cash. They didn't have any. I don't think they had any pipeline. So when it gapped up, I think I had some. I don't remember the news, but I wasn't impressed. I started shorting it. I added, and it just kept going up. It doubled on my ass. I just finally said, "Fuck it, I'll cover." Lost a quarter of my money. Many months of hard work just gone in an hour. And then a couple of hours later, I was gonna go to barbecue with some friends, and I just, let's say I wasn't in my best mood. I lost 86k, which was back then 25% of my equity. I was in a bad mood. Let's just say that. And this is the next day, gapped up and just squeezed out of the gate. Probably got halted a few times. Had an exhaustion candle, first really red candle after an insane move on the second day, and that was the top. KBIO, this one, and I think it's actually it has another symbol now. It's let's see, HGen. Let's see here. I actually shorted it here on this day. So Friday afternoon. The company was in bankrupt. They were gonna sell their assets, and it was up like a couple of 100% or something like that in the previous days. And I thought it was gonna be an easy short, but then I was like, heck, why? I was actually gonna go for a small vacation in Spain the next day on Saturday. I was like, why should I short it? I'll cover it. I don't want to hold it over the weekend, and I put in some bids. So I didn't want to. It was also trading very thin, and I didn't want to take any offers on it. So I was just waiting on bids. Then I went away from the computer. The market closed, or actually I came back just before the market closed, I think, or just after the market closed. It was just after the market closed, like 1 minute after. I forgot about the time or about the clock, and I only had covered half. I didn't get filled on everything. Then I was like, okay, fuck it. Then I went away again, came back like 20-30 minutes later, and the stock was up 500%. So I was down like 20 or 25% of my total equity. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I covered, I think I came back somewhere here, and I was hoping for it to reverse a little bit so I could cover lower. But instead, this candle developed, and I was like, fuck it, I'll cover it. And then it actually more than doubled from where I covered it. So the next day, or a Monday pre-market, it was at 24.50 in pre-market. And it became even more insane. So this is the next day. Let's see. And then Tuesday, it went even higher. On Wednesday, even higher. And then it was just insane. I think I did trade it a little bit on the long side. I don't remember trading it on the short side. I don't think I got any borrows, or I don't remember. But I was in Spain, and there were some other there was a lot of other things moving, low float stuff moving, and that was trading around. But yeah, anyways, good covers. And that was just a sloppy trade from my side, because you should never short low float microcap stocks unless they have already gone up thousands of percent. That's when you can short them, and also then only on the backside. Never short anything that's up 100%, even if it's a total bankruptcy and everything. The story behind this one is Martin Shkreli. He bought up. I think he bought this company. What he did, bought up. And then he bought some drug that he raised the prices. I think it was in this one. I don't remember. Or it was in one of his other companies. Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter what the news are. Just know that microcap stocks, they can always go up thousands of percent in a few days. Always. So always have that in mind if you trade them on the short side. It's easy to wait for those rare opportunities that happen a few times per year where they go up. And then you can short them. Then you have a high probability short. Let's see. Next one. Buy a body cam stock when the body cams were hot back in late 2014. Same scenario, went up thousands of percent actually it wasn't that big of a move, 720%. But on the other hand, it didn't start at a low price like the other ones. This one started at like $4. But still, it went up a lot. And if you looked at it on this day here, now I couldn't short it because I didn't have any shares on these days here. It was restricted, which is good because I would probably have lost some money on the short. So I know for a fact I would have probably tried to short it on this day. And but it's already up a lot, and you think the top is near, and then comes the next day where it goes up another 60%, 70%. This is the intraday chart, gapped up. Went sideways for a couple of hours, put in a little bit of higher lows, and then it just squeezed and went up, 30-40% in an hour. Next one, VLTC. This wasn't as violent as the other ones, percentage-wise. Or it lasted for longer. The whole squeeze lasted for like 3 weeks and was, let's see how many percent, 2,500%. Now I shorted it like every day. On these days, every single day, I lost some good money on it. I made back, but yeah, again, these things have the tendency to speed up. They start accelerating. The higher they go, the faster they start moving. Look at this candle. It's already up a shitload, and then it puts in a candle like this, right? 85% in a single day, just insane. And then next day it squeezed even further before it reversed. So yeah, I mean, again, it's my point is because I remember I lost money on this thing. I anticipated the breakdown on this day, and on this one I really didn't get squeezed. I never added. But what happened was I took a lot of small losses. Like every day I took a bunch of small, medium-sized losses. They added up. So I never really got squeezed, but I started too early. Like I never waited for a real breakdown. Like on these days, like on this day, I never shorted it. I should have waited for it to take out the lows of this day, the previous day, for example. But I just anticipated the breakdown. Every day it added a little bit of downtick. Every time it downticked a little bit, I started short. Then I got stopped out because it went higher. So it's always best to wait for these exhaustion moves when they just go nuts, when you just go straight up. That's where you have the good risk reward. There's really no point in even shorting these things before that, unless they have definite breakdowns and you get some backside. Let's say breakdown, they bounce, and then on the bounce you can short some, for example. Let's talk about BPTH. This one I traded very, very well. I knew this thing had traded 100 times its float on this day here, but I still didn't think it was going to squeeze that much. I thought it was, it had a good chance of going to 20, 25 or something, even though I've seen these kinds of scenarios many times before. But yeah, they always take you by surprise. This is what's so important to know about these things, that they can go further than anyone anticipates. And that's why these big squeezes happen. There's a lot of shorts that don't believe they can go higher, these things, that believe that the top is near, and then they go up another 500%, right? Or 200%. So let's look at the intraday chart on this thing, BPTH. I shorted it think I shorted it on this first red candle. I think I added somewhere here, and then it started gearing, it started putting in these rounded bottoms, like here a rounded bottom and here another rounded bottom with higher lows. And I covered all of it here, took a total of, took a total loss of 52,000, and then it started the big squeeze. And unfortunately, what is this? This is LFIN. Oh, okay, wrong window here. Unfortunately, didn't go long. I mean, I felt like this thing could put in do something crazy, put in a crazy move, but it's so hard for me to just switch from first take a $50,000 loss and then switch long. I just mentally can't do it, and vice versa. From long to short, I just can't do it. It's mentally hard. If I had lost 5,000, I maybe had been able to do it, but 50,000, it's not a huge loss for me. It's a couple of percent of my equity, nothing crazy. It's a medium-sized loss, but still, it kind of hurts. So I waited. I was patient. I knew this was going to be a big short. I had 15,000 shares located. So I just had to sit and wait for the perfect opportunity, because I knew I went back and looked at these previous stocks that I just showed you guys and look at them intraday. So I kind of knew what I was looking for. That first red candle that takes out the previous candle. This is the 1 minute chart. So that's when you short it. That's where you have a set risk reward. You can just use these highs as a stop. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of slippage because this is an enormously fast moving stock. But that's at least you have a set risk reward versus you start shorting it randomly and adding and hoping for the best. And that's what I did. I was patient. I waited for it. Let's see. I closed this one. Let's see. And then I shorted. After this last halt, it traded around a little bit, and then it kind of, on this candle here, it kind of traded up down in this range, in this 70 and 74 for 10-15 seconds. And as soon as it broke that range, it started going lower. I shorted 5,000 shares, and just literally a second later, when it took out the lows of the previous candle, I shorted another 5,000 shares. So I got an average of 65 average with 10,000 shares. So which is down here. And now I knew my risk is up here, 73. So yeah, it was a pretty big risk, 65. And let's say, with slippage, I could have easily, it was pretty much $100,000 risk I had, but it was a very high probability trade. And then it got halted on downside, literally half a second or 1 second after I got in. I shorted the second 5,000 shares. It got halted, and it was halted for 5 minutes at a time on the way up, and then on the way down it was halted for 10 minutes at a time. I don't know why. I think this first halt was 15 minutes even. And then was pretty easy riding. I just had to cover on the way down, and I covered pretty perfect. I covered my last 1,000 shares down here in 28 or something, and I made a total. So I turned $52,000 loss into a $216,000 profit. So it was $267,000 profit on that trade on near the top. That was almost a $300,000 profit. So it was a pretty not bad for an hour of sitting on your ass and just covering. But the only reason I was able to do this was because I felt the pain. I've been on these kinds of moves before. I knew I refused to be early, and I knew exactly what to look for. And I had a set risk reward. I was never randomly shorting it because it was up way too much or nothing like that. Or adding to a loser. If anything, I would have loved to add to this thing, but there was really no add spot because what you can see here, but every single candle here, or at least this candle was 10 seconds of trading. It was just so fast, and there was no way to add. It was just all I could do was cover. And then late day, I shorted some more for a overnight swing, and on Friday I shorted some near the open and covered everything late day and some in after hours. I'm not holding anything over the weekend, so I made another maybe 50,000 or something. And so I hope this was helpful for you guys, seeing these past setups and how history repeats itself. Not exactly, but these kinds of scenarios repeat themselves every single year. And just the best advice I can give you, if you like to short these small stocks, microcap stocks, don't be early. Just don't be early. It's better to miss it. Just wait for them to go up 1,000% before you short it. Or if you short them on the backside, like after they have initially cracked, and they maybe have some kind of a bounce into resistance, or have some kind of sideways consolidation. But just never add, or think the stock is up too much, or think that the stock is it's bankrupt, it should be up 100%. Well, it's bankrupt, but a few days later it was up 2,000%, right? It's just you can't get into that kind of mindset. You always have to follow price. And that goes for any kind of capitalization or any kind of stock, even real stocks. You always have to, as a trader, you have to respect price, and you have to know history. You have to know what stocks are capable of. Even the most stupid scenario can turn into something crazy.